everyone. Chris here from Midwest Coaster Fans. Jacob again joining us from the team here. These are going to be our times that we're normally going to do our videos. They may vary, but our live videos will come out at the minimum Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if anything is released that's brand new in the industry, we will have a live video, and one of us will be on here for that. But we're talking about Indiana prediction video. So what do we believe that Indiana Beach is going to have in the near future? So this year they didn't really add anything new, but they did make sure the rides were maintained and things of that nature and so forth. And we did see when we went to the park, there was a couple empty spots with the merry-go-round and growler. And then we saw them bring in Flying Bobs, which was an old flat ride from Indiana Beach, from Coney Island on Indiana Beach, which Indiana Beach used to have it, where it was located over by where the Zero G's at right now. And yeah, if you want to go ahead and look at the comments while I'm doing that, if anybody says anything there.
I was just setting those up.
But everything is operating very good this season. The operations is up, even though COVID-19 is happening. We noticed that the crowd levels have been kind of consistent and kind of good, and then the feedback's been really good for the park this year. They did a lot of third-party vendors this year, so they brought in Kona Ice. They brought in a new ice cream place located over by Pronto Pup, and then they brought in back in Taco Shop. And I imagine the plans for the future is to bring in more third-party vendors for food, which I think are better anyways, because some parks do their own in the park food, and I don't think it's as good as bringing in third-party vendors, in my opinion. But I'm going to set the floor over to Jacob and what some of the good things that he saw added this year.
Well, I definitely saw the construction of the Flying Bobs going on over time, and of course the retrack that was done on the Hoosier Hurricane, which was well overdue, has helped that ride a lot as well. I definitely love how it's kind of going back to that nostalgic feel of how it was ran back in the days compared to how when Apex ran it. I mean, when I went there when Apex ran it, my opinion on it is it felt like it was an out of control carnival that's in control. But now that I'm there with the new owners, I feel like it's actually becoming like one of those small hometown parks that you would find like in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, kind of like bringing back kind of the old feel of the park. Definitely, kind of like when we went over to Knoebels. Knoebels has more like temporary structures. We noticed though, like their what is that called? Hi everyone, Clay does VR. Ian Staples, how you doing? And then Tom Tracy said the new old Flying Bobs. Yeah, but what did we notice over there? Kind of like their version Aircrow, but they played that ride lasted like 5 minutes, and it was ran off of a gasoline powered or diesel powered motor instead. And we saw a couple rides like that over at Knoebels. So Knoebels is a little bit different. It's more of a carnival feel, I think, mixed with good coasters, kind of like what Indiana Beach does. But yeah, that's one of the things I noticed too. And in general, then you have the owners walking around and meeting and greeting and talking to people, which creates more of a family-friendly atmosphere. Even though COVID-19 was going on, you could definitely tell the difference of everything. And then obviously next year, you're not going to have that capacity limitation. Well, it depends what happens with this virus. So I feel like you're going to get a lot of weekends that are going to be even more extremely busy, because I feel like with the virus this year, even though they were busy, a lot of people kind of held back on their vacations and trips because they want to take the risk of having or contracting anything. And I think that's why we see a lot of different things as you go to different parks. Certain parks that used to be busy aren't busy anymore. And then kind of Holiday World, Indiana Beach, we noticed we're a little bit different on there. Going good, Brian. Thanks for asking. We're doing something a little different, putting in the comments on here because we're live on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. So YouTube viewers cannot see what the Facebook people are putting on there, so it's just easier to put that on there.
Yep, and just to make sure I don't miss anything, I got both going so I can see everything.
Okay. Change of ownership. So we've already kind of talked about that, but the change of ownership from Apex into the Staples family, we kind of noticed it go from more of a corporate type atmosphere and kind of change back over to kind of family friendly atmosphere. which is great because both parks in Indiana, like I already discussed, both parks in Indiana, one's owned by the Koch family, and now we have Indiana Beach now owned by a family again. So the Staples family owns Indiana Beach, and the Koch family owns Holiday World. So hopefully, both of these families could talk to each other and get something in line because that's how the relationship used to be back in the day, and I think we'll see that again. Uh, what's your opinion on the change of leadership? I guess it's good to see that a family owns it again. Definitely.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. And like I said, it's kind of going back to that old school feel of how it was ran back in the day before Apex, and it's kind of the atmosphere of the workers all kind of seem a lot happier. They all seem like they actually want to be there rather than just get on and go because I want to get out of here type feel. I feel like that's gone away and it's more of a family friendly environment.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. Um,
I definitely love how they're working a lot with locals around Monticello and bringing local breweries in and things like that.
yeah, that was nice to see as well. I can't pronounce the name of the brewery, but it's over by the Madame Carroll. It was cool that they went to a local microbrewery and had them garner up a new brew for their park, which was really cool. And I heard there might be an Oktoberfest type of brew coming to the park, so I always like the fall brews.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
some of the
Grant,
needs, some of the needs that they've already kind of accomplished some needs this season by what you just mentioned with the beer, but they also redid the roof garden and changed it to the sky bar with new colors and things of that nature. I don't know how many of you guys have actually been out to Indiana Beach this year. If you guys haven't been, looking forward to the Halloween horror events for sure.
I'm ready
Um,
for some haunted houses.
there's a couple of them that we'll be covering. I heard there's going to be a lot of drive-through haunted houses this year, or drive-through events. A lot of parks are just doing fall events. The only park that we know of in the Midwest right now that are doing anything, I think, is the Indiana Beach and Silver Dollar City are the only two that we know of. Everybody else is kind of doing a fall event, and I'm not sure if Holiday World's doing anything yet, but
It's a fall event if they do anything. It's not going to be anything like it has been in the past.
no, unfortunately not. And then I know Indiana Beach is adding more haunted houses than last year, so their haunted houses will probably go up to three or more, I guess. I heard there's already construction going on over there. We have not made it out there yet, which if Dustin is watching, which I don't think he is, that
He
would be
should be at
something for us to get.
he should be at work.
Uh, I heard that Indiana Beach is not having a haunted house, but will have haunted terror areas. We've been told that they are having houses and they are having scare zones, so I think
We
Ian's watching, so maybe he could reedify that and advise us of that. But oh, he is here. Do you want to join into the show, Dustin, or do you want to stay in the comments? Okay, we'll give him a second to respond. But yeah, some of the needs that they need, obviously, they have plenty of flat rides. I think flat rides are flat out. If they plan on adding more in the future, I think that's great. But I don't think that's anything that they're going to specifically need to add in the future. They already have almost every single area covered besides the Zamperla. There's a couple Zamperla rides that they could probably add. Like, what's that one called? The flying something where it kind of flips you upside down, kind of like you're flying like an airplane, but it like flips you like a. Oh, he's busy getting ready to camp. Okay. Uh, what's that Zamperla ride called? Do you know what the name of it is? There's a Zamperla ride that flips you kind of like does a barrel roll, and then you flip back up, and it kind of goes up and down. That would be a great addition over the water. But other than that, I think they have most flat rides covered besides maybe the swinging swings. That would be a great addition to add at the park in the future. There's no swinging swings that go over the water, so I think that'd be kind of a cool addition. But I'm not sure. But they do have three openings for new for 2021. I'm going to bring that on screen with us here in just a second. Actually, right now I'll bring it on screen. So in 20, this is kind of jumping ahead what we're getting ready to talk about, but If you look at their website here, they have Watch for New Rides Summer 2021. There's 3 openings on here. So if I go up here, Flying Bobs are still listed. They're already listed. So these 3 new attractions that are listed, the question is, what are they going to be? What do you think that, judging from the kind of needs that they kind of some of the things that they actually need at the park?
Well, I don't know them personally. I don't know exactly what they have in their minds, but my opinion, I think they would do great with with something like Hang Time. Possibly. I mean, it's nice, small, compact, but it's different from a wooden coaster. Like you said, right, flat rides are mostly covered. I would like to see a cool update to the water park. I know it's hard to compete with Holiday World being such a big water park and having so much land. But that water park looks like it came from the 70s. It looks like it needs to be upgraded. But I know they did a lot to it this past season to get it running, which is wonderful. I know the big flush, right?
Yeah, the Big Flush was running. They finally new motor on it, and it was running when the staff levels were present, which we know everywhere has had that issue this year. So it's not just Indiana Beach. Big Flush is just a raft slide ride. I think that was added in 2004. It might have
Yeah,
been
and see,
2000 when they added it. So it's still 20 years old, but probably the newest addition water slide wise to the park.
like I would love to see them get some racing slides in.
Yeah, and you can make those compact instead of having like 12 lanes, just have like 6 lanes.
Mhm.
And now they made it where you can start at the top and it's kind of like a water slide, and then you come out, finishing at the bottom. So I think that would be a great addition as well, like you said. So if you need to squeeze it in where you can't add like a straight path in to the final pool area, at least you have room to work with. I think 6 lanes would do it well. I'm trying to think of some other like small water parks that are kind of coming up and about. The only one that I could think of is like Santa's Village up in Dundee, Illinois. That's kind of building a smaller version of a water park. But
I don't know. Our number one water park is
and I could see a water coaster actually going in there.
that would be a great fit. Something like Wildebeest.
They kind of need. They have 5 water slides, but like you said, they're kind of old. But water slide technology really hasn't changed much, so you could kind of change it a little bit, maybe to what's that new technology called, where you
Pro
could
slide.
pushes the lights, that pushes the light in different colors through it. What is it called? Aqua translucent or something like that. There's some new name for it. But water coasters don't require a lot of room to run, and it's just like a water slide. You're just adding kind of like a roller coaster experience with the drops and the airtime. Perfect fit for that would be the magnetic power launch. But I think that new technology is still kind of expensive, even though I know a Holiday World added it with the whatever. What was it called? What's that new
Uh,
technology called?
I don't know the full word, but I remember Pro slide. It's got to deal with something with launching. I know when they build it, the Cheetah Chase cost approximately 7 million. So
Yeah, which is extremely high for a water coaster. Usually, water coasters don't cost that much. But I don't know how many you've been on. I think I've been on 4 so far. I just rode a recent one over at Volcano Bay, which is kind of the same technology where they start off as a drop and then you go up using magnetic. It's like a up and down hill type of thing. But I could see them adding a water. They kind of need a water coaster. They kind of need new water slides. I think a wave pool, but the wave pool is kind of going to be hard to do unless they relocate some of the rides, or if they relocate most of the water park to another section, or if they have 2 water parks. I wouldn't want to be in the planning stages at the park right now, because that is a hard park to plan out things on due to the limited space and things of that nature. It's kind of like, well, I don't know if you've been out to New Jersey yet or not, but it's kind of like how their pier parks are, where they have limited space, but they have to kind of pack everything on top of each other. But there was one coaster that I did ride called Hydrus, which is a Gerschlager Eurofighter type model, and it's really short, but it packed a punch, and it kind of would fit in the need of that concrete uh, pad that they have over where the Galaxy used to be at. But I think they need to add another steel coaster, like you mentioned earlier. You have the Tiger, you have Steel Hawk, but I think steel coasters appeal more to the general public in general. Plus, it's easier for maintaining, so the maintenance costs are a lot lower compared to a wooden coaster, especially with it being on the water. I imagine the Hoosier Hurricane, the Cornball Express, and Lost Coaster costs a little bit more money because of the wear and tear from the water hitting, probably the water hitting like the Hoosier Hurricane supports. That's probably why they used metal supports instead of wooden supports when they originally built it. You have that on top of the water, so we don't know in the near future if that's going to have to be replaced with the pylons on there. And then you mentioned the boardwalk, maybe expanding out the boardwalk to allow for the addition of additional rides. But I'm not sure on.
I that would probably be a 5-10 year plan because I would expect that to be really, really expensive.
Yeah, and I wonder if they're in the talks right now to maybe buy up a couple of those resorts to add more land space. But we mentioned there's a couple needs there. I don't think flat rides are really a huge need right now. I think the major need is probably a new steel coaster. And then I would say, like you said, with the water park, I think the water park definitely is something that's been neglected from past owners over the years. And I think if you add new water slides and new water attractions, it keeps the public in the park during the day. And then when the sun starts setting in the evening, everybody goes hangs out in the amusement park. So not only are they staying in the park longer and possibly being repeat visitors more and more, and you get more season pass holders, but also it causes those people to spend more money in the park so that they're there all day instead of maybe a half a day and then leave. Uh, Everybody knows it gets really hot in the Midwest. It gets really cold in the winter. It gets really hot in the summer, and I feel like amusement parks are kind of unbearable during the day in the summer anywhere in the United States. So the disadvantage is that a lot of parks that only stay open during the day and kind of close at 8 o'clock. The advantage that Indiana Beach has is that they're staying open until 11 o'clock. So they're open early, so you get the rides in early. Then you go over to the water park, spend your money and spend your time over there. Then switch back over to the amusement park, and then you get repeat visitors because a lot of parks that have good water parks get a lot of people that just go straight to the water park. So you get a lot of people that'll be repeat visitors, like one day at the water park, another day at the amusement park. Maybe they'll spend an evening at the amusement park, come back the next day, spend at the water park, and then spend another evening. So I think that adding more additions to a water park in general and I think it's done well for a park like Holiday World. Because remember, Holiday World used to have, well, it's still, in my opinion, after being to a couple different water parks across the country, I think Holiday World Splash and Safari is like solid in terms of everything that they need and want. They have. The only thing they're missing over there is what would you say? Maybe no, they're not really missing anything over there. The kids' plays areas are really good. The water
I
slides
mean,
are really good. The
the only
water
technology that I feel like they don't have are the slides where they drop out from underneath you, but I don't feel like they need them.
no, because the water slides are big enough. But there's another thing for Indiana Beach to look at. Maybe a couple drop slides that adds a huge thrill. They're really popular with a lot of the people that go to different water parks. I recently just rode one after giving over my fear yesterday. Uh, Adequate lodging choices. I tend to agree and disagree on that because there's plenty of resorts around Indiana Beach. So I don't feel like lodging is 100% there. They are working on it. They just redid the hotel and they're redoing a lot of other different things. So Indiana
And
Beach lodging options
Holiday
are
World,
definitely.
Holiday World just expanded on their campground, but they also have the campground that's right down the road that has cabins as well. They both have cabins. They both have RV and tent spots. But then there's also the two hotels right there by the highway that we stay at that are only 5 minutes from the park.
Yeah, and then you look at Indiana Beach. Indiana Beach has probably 30 to 40 resorts right next to the park. So is it really something that if they added, are they going to make a huge profit off of it? And that's something that you have to look at when you're owning a park. They invest, let's say, $4 to $5 million on redoing or building a new park hotel. How often is that going to be occupied, and what's the vacancy rate going to be like? We know that in the wintertime, it's not like other parks annually. Like if you go into the warmer regions where people are going to probably stay there in the winter months, Indiana Beach and Holiday World and Cedar Point, they all know that they have to close those down in the winter because they're probably not going to get anybody to really stay at those places. But I agree that they possibly could add more choices, but like Holiday World, okay, yeah, I could see them adding maybe a lodge type of hotel for them. But for Indiana Beach, I don't
You,
think it makes sense because you have so many resorts next to the park that would you really get a return on it? That's why I think they're just redoing the called the what's the name of the hotel that's right above the office? Well, they just redid that, so I imagine that they're going to open more of those rooms up for the general public. What were you saying? Sorry.
I um, I'm just trying to think of what type of lodge Holiday World would open up if they were to open up one. I was thinking of something like Great Wolf, but that would that
No, because they already have a solid water park, and they have the hotel would compete with a water park, and I don't think they want to do that.
kind of what I was thinking.
I think they
Um,
need it. I think. Well, That's for a different thing for Holiday World. We'll do another video with them only. So,
you know what would be nice if they built more of like a foresty lodge with just cabins.
were we talking about Holiday World, or are we talking about Union Beach?
Holiday World, but
Okay.
they spread the cabins out so they're not next to each other, kind of like how they are over at Dollywood. We're up there on the hillsides, kind of, but there's no hills here. Yeah, their Wi-Fi's gotten better.
You got away with a lot of stuff when you owned it. Oh, yeah, they
It
definitely need Wi-Fi. Especially that probably conclude this area. Well, there's a couple other things, but yeah, Wi-Fi is definitely needed there because there is the cell phone signals almost most of the time don't work there. Like half the park it works, and then the other half it doesn't work at.
and that just has a lot to do with the fact that half a park is in the bottom of a hill.
Yeah, and then another need would be probably remodeling the bathrooms because I guess a lot of people have been sending me messages on that. So that's not really a need though. They already have bathrooms.
Believe it or not, the nicest bathroom in the park nobody can use. And it's the one that's backed by Crow's Nest off in the middle of nowhere. Brand new, super nice bathroom, and nobody can use it because that area is never really ever open.
You know, there was one over there.
Yeah.
Then another thing.
Over by those two random water slides.
Some of the other needs, more lockers maybe, but all the rides kind of allow you to put the bags in the station, so I don't know if that's really a need.
No, I like the bags in the station. They don't need more lockers because, I mean, out of all the times we've been there this summer, there's not been one incident where somebody hasn't gotten their stuff that we've seen. Um, there was an incident where we saw a kid grab the wrong thing, but he came back almost immediately with it. And it was just a
Okay.
jacket.
More merchandise, maybe that's a good need,
Yes.
but I mean, this is their first year. I'm pretty sure that's already in the works.
Oh, yeah. Leah did a good job with merchandise, though. I liked her designs. Her team kicked butt at it this year.
Yeah,
But
I think. Well,
I,
since Ian's on here for Indiana Beach, that's what I was saying. With merchandise, maybe contact Behind the Thrills. Hint, hint. They kind of did a couple good designs for some of the coasters down there, and I think they
and
would be great
Gabby
with.
as well.
She does more posters, though. But yeah, she did a pretty good design on it. Maybe a couple events for. I know it takes up a small part of the population, but maybe a couple roller coaster enthusiast events. Maybe that's already in the works.
Some great charity events as well. You could work with Coasting for Kids.
Yeah, Give Kids the World. They're really good to work with.
Mm-hmm.
As they were talking about there, that like he's talking about the land, and I think that's the major thing that they're looking at right now. Uh, like I said, if I owned that park, the planning stages that would be needed for a park like Indiana Beach, if you can't buy out more property, then you're kind of landlocked. Seems like every time you go, okay. Uh, yeah, that would be something that they'd have to work out. Okay, Ace Midwest canceled their events for 2020 and planning for. Okay, that's good information to know. All right, let's go over the other one. We kind of fit the need on there. Predictions for 2021. What do you think?
It just depends on what direction they're wanting to go first. I mean, we know every bit of the park needs a little bit of work. It just depends on what they decide they want to do first. My opinion, if it's not a water park update, I would go ahead and do a steel coaster, nice small one, if they had an income, if they had made revenue this year.
Well, Coney Island, and this is just a prediction. I don't know if it's true or not, but we know Coney Island had a bunch of rides up for sale. So everybody in the Indiana Beach community has been screaming they want Galaxy back. So let me show you this ride called the Python. If many of you guys know, I've been to Coney Island. I was never there, but this is what that coaster looks like here. So we go over here, Python. Just like the old, it's just like the old Galaxy coaster. Let me see if I can find a quick video on it. I want to get out of here so we go back to the normal show. But I think the reason I only mentioned Coney Island is because they've already bought the Flying Bobs from there. So I wonder what other rides possibly could have gotten bought by the park from there. And I feel like Python's one of them. If Python's not one of them, then I wonder what's going to go in that concrete slab up where the Galaxy used to sit at.
Gerslogger, if I said that right.
Slugger would be a better fit, in my opinion. But I know maybe they just need a filler coaster because it takes up to years to plan to start building a coaster.
And see if they're trying to go with the nostalgic feel. I would definitely feel like them bringing something like Galaxy back.
Definitely. Steve, did you guys like the music at the park this year? The live bands and the park music.
Yes, I watched a couple of the. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I watched a couple of the live streams this year, and I pretty much enjoyed almost everything I saw.
Yeah, they did a really good job. From what it's kind of hard to do what they have to do because some bands might not feel comfortable traveling right now with everything going on. But I felt like they did a pretty good job with it. The ballroom was only used once, but I heard that Kiss Tribute Band is coming back again for the Halloween event because I guess they were really popular last year, so the park's bringing that back. They're starting to use the ballroom a little more, but I understand it's hard to book a lot of these tribute bands because I think a lot of the tribute bands at this time are trying not to tour until 2021. So there you have that issue there as well. But yeah, I think the live music is really good. And I liked how in the VIP event and other days how they utilize the different stages throughout the park, like on VIP day, even on the south part, they had a musician there. They had a musician over by Taco Shop where that stage is at. They had a musician over on the Sky Bar. And I think I love how the live music's coming back to the park. Going back to needs, I think predictions for 2021, I think we see the return of the ski show. Because they started to tear apart the platform this year which makes me think that they're going to redo it and they're in the works of possibly hiring performers to do that ski show again. What do you
That
think
would be
about that?
fun. I would like that, and that would fit in with that nostalgic feel, and that could be possibly one of those spots on that website.
Oh, I think those were rides. Let me look at that again. I think those were rides that they're adding. Yeah, those are rides. So the show wouldn't be part of that part. But what do you think? Do you think they relocate the double shot and reallocate that spot and expand the water park over in that area and just relocate the double shot maybe to the south end of the park? Because you have the
Yeah,
open spot with you.
they've relocated it before, haven't they?
No, that's been in the same spot since '99.
That's been the yeah. Well, it just depends on how much it would cost to get it moved, but
There's a prediction for 2021. Take the seatbelts out and increase the air pressure on double shot.
Apex ruined that ride. Please fix it. I mean, even if you leave the seatbelts, that's okay, but the air pressure up just a little.
It used to be one of the best launch towers. That's what kind of upsets me about it.
I think
Uh,
I think my favorite one is at is Liberty Launch. No, the one at Silver Dollar City. I really like the one at Silver Dollar City.
I didn't get a chance to ride that one. I will in October.
Well, where I sat, it felt like I was going to run into the corner of the building. So
You can keep on going. I'm booking up somewhere
I'm just reading. I
else.
wish they would put go karts in right there. That would be exciting.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. The old mini golf track, the Ferris wheel, possibly relocating a couple flat rides and putting it over there. I think you have that open space over there. There's plenty of space to add that launch tower, the double shot, and possibly a swinging swing.
No, I wish we would have seen them.
No, we didn't. And I saw air on coasters. I ran into him. I was half asleep. I was going on an hour of sleep when I ran into him.
I saw them too.
So if you ran into me on Saturday, I apologize. I was really tired. I was going on an hour of sleep that day, so I wasn't totally with it that day. So, let's see predictions. Going back into that again. Kitty coaster. You said I was out of it. It happens.
I was happy. I was so excited to be there. I know this is an Indiana Beach show, but I know it rained one night, but that was probably one of the best weekends I've had all summer. Just gonna throw that out there.
It was a lot of fun. If I didn't have to drive 7 hours that morning, get up at 3:30 in the morning on an hour's sleep, and then go to a park all day, I think I would have been totally different that day.
Yeah, yeah.
We wish we would have got more video footage than what we did, though. I think we were too interested in enjoying the event and getting video footage, but that's all right. We'll make sure that we don't mess that up next year. Uh, okay, where we at here? Oh, kitty coaster. I think they added a new kitty coaster, and oh my god, I spelled predictions wrong. Just noticed that. All right, let's fix
I
that one.
believe it or not, I was there on Sunday and there was no reservation system because the internet was down and it was the best day ever. In an hour and a half, I got 10 rides on Voyage and 4 rides on Thunderbird. It was probably the best morning I've had all weekend.
I agree the reservation system on Saturday, but they also had a. Sorry, we'll go back in Indiana Beach. Give us about 1 minute. Uh, the problem they had with the inline system, well, the inline system's not foolproof anyways, but most coasters were at 2 hour waits, but they had a company picnic, the normal crowd, and Hollywood Nights all on the same day. So I don't even know what the crowd was like there. That's why I left at 4 o'clock and took a nap until the main crowd left. When I got back, it was definitely a better atmosphere when everybody else was gone there. So,
Yeah,
but
they
that
just had
inline
so many people.
system, I don't think they should keep the inline system next year. That's my
If
personal opinion on that.
if COVID kind of calmed down by next year, I agree. I think everything it would be okay without the inline, but I've enjoyed the inline system as well, so
Well, we
I'm
didn't have the
happy with.
inline. We didn't have inline during the Hollywood Nights event, and everything worked fine without it. So, except for Voyage, that wave was crazy. But RMC Hurricane, just dreaming. Uh, I've never seen a
If,
CCI RMC yet, so if
I'm not gonna lie, if they're gonna do one, they might as well just do both.
I wouldn't mind, yeah, I said I wouldn't mind Hurricane being RMC, kind of like what they did with down in Kentucky Kingdom with Storm Chaser, and I could see that happening. And then you would have that barrel roll drop over the water, and maybe another 0G roll underneath the suspension bridge. That would be insane. But we could all dream, right? Yeah, keep the cornball for the laterals and the air time. I agree.
Yeah, but the only issue is how would RMC? It would be hard for RMC to use the same structure without changing something.
Yeah, you'd have to add extra supports because steel's a lot heavier than wood is. Lost, that would be.
0G stall down the mountain. How about that?
On the mod. I'm surprised they were able to build a coaster in that small structure as it is. So
Hey, it's a great ride.
RMC has never RMC has never converted a CCI yet. I say yet. So obviously CCIs are really good. Both RMC. How about not distant traditional?
Rocco, we're kidding. We don't want RMC to come in and touch either one of those.
One fine. He changed his mind. The problem, well, we've already mentioned this before. The problem I have with RMC is I can't predict if they're going to last that long. I would rather go with something else. I would rather have GCI redo it than RMC, to be honest.
Yeah, because I love the wooden feel over the lake. That's why if they do something steel or even if they do build an RMC, I would rather see a single rail come in or something like that over.
How about a family? How about for 2021, instead of like a Galaxy like coaster, we see like maybe kind of like what do they call those coasters? Oh my god! Oh,
T4,
like a mouse coaster, but kind of like a spinning mouse coaster.
T4.
D4. Just topper track would be fine. Okay, yeah, I agree on that. I like the topper track. Some people don't. I don't. I think the iBox is okay, but I like if you're going to convert a old wooden coaster over, I think you should use a topper track to kind of keep the kind of the same wooden coaster feel. Wacky Worm, yeah, there you go. That'd be a good kiddie coaster to add in that area. They definitely need one. Would you agree on that? They definitely need a kiddie coaster.
Yeah,
Not
I
not the
I
dragon
definitely
wagon though.
no. Maybe even like a family suspended compact model.
Did you say you have to go? Is that what you said?
No, maybe a family suspended compact model.
Oh, okay. Let me go to the share screen so we can look at the map and see kind of how much room we have. This Some of our viewers might not be familiar with this, so I predict that this area right here is going to be used next year, and it's going to add in a park expansion, or they're going to take this area right here where it's a paved parking lot is, and they're going to convert that over to the expansion, and then this is going to be the new paved parking lot, and a new front entrance would be right about here. Now, this is not obviously in the works, but this is something that I would love to see happen because they did not pave this parking lot fully. which would open up a lot of space, even if they just did this one and expanded out to add a new expansion for Indiana Beach, or if they added this one right here. It's about the same amount of space. What we were talking about with the water park expansion. So here's double shot right here, as you can see from the arrow. And then right here you have where the old growler was at. If you remove both of these, you open up more space for the water park, but it's not going to open up a lot of space. This pool right here, even though it's nostalgic, I would love to see them shrink this down and add another landing pool area or standing pool area to expand out the water slides. If they're going to utilize this for a new coaster, then I could see them keeping that. But if they're not planning on using it for a new coaster, then why not add like more water attractions such as a water coaster and such like that. When we go down here to this end, you have a lot of off the boardwalk space for new uh, kind of like over the water attractions. I can see an SNS swing. Obviously not for 2021 stuff like that, but if double shots relocated, this is what we're talking about here. So you have this turnaround where the old golf course used to be at. We could see this open spot right here, maybe being a new relocated spot for that. But yeah, they definitely have their work cut out for them on that. But I just wanted to show kind of what we believe is going to be the expansion areas and such like that. I've been talking about this for years, so this isn't anything. So Jacob could concur to that. Even when I ran the other page, I kind of tried to predict that as well.
Yeah,
I like Hurricane.
We've been pretty much saying this for almost basically since I've known you.
Yeah, because it's always been my dream to own a park. And it's like, well, if I own the park, this is what I would do with it. I would also take out Musical Express because I already have the Flying Bobs, and I would add in a better flat ride over there. But that's just me. I think there's too many flat rides, and sometimes in parks, and not enough of other things. Oh, I would love a chance to build a lightning rod run type of coaster at Indiana Beach. That ride is solid. What do you think?
I'd agree.
I think we're looking at that the next 4 years. I think for the next 4 years after next year, I think that's when we see the Jacob's like, what? I think next year we see a coaster maybe getting added, but it's not going to be a stand-up, ground-up built coaster. I think that we're going to see the Hoosier Hurricane get retracked, the Cornball Express get retracked, and then I think a new coaster like I said, maybe like a Python-like coaster, maybe a Wild Mouse coaster, Kitty coaster. Those are all a little more affordable. The ground-up coasters, a lot of people don't understand, take at least a year to plan or two, and then they have to start construction on it. So that's not something I foresee happening next year, but maybe in 2022. Comments only 7 mil. We all say only this, only that.
That's a lot.
I guess $7 million isn't that huge of an investment, but by the way, on that story, Kentucky's kind of screwed over that park ever since Ed Hart took it back over. They approved 15 million and then changed their mind and only gave them 7 million for that. Okay, so we're done with the comments on that. So, love the pinball room. What I would like to see the. Oh yeah, I heard that's coming back. They didn't have time this year with the virus going on and the turnover within 2 months to get all the arcade games back in there. But I heard that is coming back. And since see, this is what's funny. We have Eames. I think Eames Staples is kind of veering in here. So I think we're right on some things because he's not telling us we're wrong yet. So obviously the RMC is not going to happen, but for the next 4 years, yeah, the next 4 years I see at least a major coaster edition getting added. Water park expansion definitely. Maybe the south lot being used as a park expansion as well.
I feel like even if they don't move the entrance and things like that, I feel like they still get a new front entrance here in the next couple of years.
And to be honest, I think it looks. I could say that because they're not the ones that built it. I think the entrances look trashy. I think those little buildings out there that they added back in the Morgan years kept them. I think they look stupid. I think something more professional looking because the first thing I look at when I approach a park is well, besides Knoebels didn't have that. It was kind of like just you just walk
Walk
in.
in.
But when I go to a park, that's the first thing I like seeing is the front entrance. And it kind of tells me like Hershey Park has changed theirs. It just creates a whole different experience if you walk into a park and that front entrance looks nice. It's got nice ticket counters where you can grab your tickets from, the security gates there. It looks like that entrance currently at Indiana Beach was just thrown together by Apex or Morgan. The old one was a lot more organized. You had people sitting at the table, but that was back when you just paid $2, entered, and then bought your tickets. So that's a different story on that. But yeah, I could see a different front entrance. I could see the south entrance being used, half of that lot being used as a park expansion too. B&M dive coaster, kind of tell us something, Ian. Like a compact dive coaster, kind of like Emperor over at SeaWorld, San Diego.
Shikra. Shikra.
B&M dive.
I would love a Shikra there. It could dive into the lake. Just kidding. We would kill some fish.
Are you hitting that you guys are adding a B&M in the future, Ian?
Yeah, Giga.
Giga. Can you imagine it? Oh my god. A compact Giga.
Dude, that would probably be more intense than I-305.
Morgan RV still owes RMC money from retracking Locosoa, Cornball, and Hurricane think they're Larry of IB now. But it's new owners now, so hopefully they would forgive the new owners for that's crap. But that was back when they were just retracting coasters, right? This is before they added the topper track on. Wait. Does what's it called? A new Texas Giant, is that a topper track or is that an iBox? Do you know? I want to say it's a topper track.
I want to say Chopper Track, but if that was the first one they ever built, then it was the Chopper Track. So they hadn't created the iBox yet.
Kind of like Kentucky Flyer. I could see that.
Oh, I guess it is iBox. I don't know. I haven't been down to Texas yet.
So who was the first one that had a topper track then? Outlaw Run?
Uh, I would have.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Would the motel be open next year? I'm not sure. That'd be from something that Ian or
That's what
they
I was thinking too. I was thinking Outlaw Run because I know it's one of the older RMCs. I really like Outlaw Run. I
Yeah,
love
it's
the
solid.
ending.
It's short too. That could be another thing.
No.
No, for what? The motel thing?
It's just what EM said. I'm assuming it's to answer the hotel.
Oh, okay. So that's a 2-year renovation. It sounds like maybe. Cheetah at Silverwood, or Silverwood, or Silverwood. I imagine it's Silverwood. I still haven't been
Silverwood.
out to that. I still haven't been out to that park yet. I really want to go out to that park. Silverwood in Idaho.
We were supposed to go there this year, but the family reunion got pushed back.
No, you're going to Adventureland.
We were going to hit a few of them out there.
Oh, okay.
We were going to take
Silverwood,
the whole week off. We were going to take the whole week off and enjoy it out there because everybody loves going out to Idaho.
Oh, Cheetah was the first topper? Interesting. I didn't even know they had an RMC out there. The more you know. What do you think the next 4 years bring? You guys comment below.
Scroll down. Scroll down.
I am all the way down.
Facebook. Or sorry, YouTube. EM Staples. Believe it or not, SPAC was going to get an 18 million B&M that surrounded the park.
What year was that in? Because I'd never heard that one. Huh.
That would be fun.
I feel like you could constantly just use that space around the park and just have coasters overlook. It would just be one of those unique coasters. 50% of it. Is that coaster still there? What is it called? Because I'm not seeing it over here. Silver Void or Silver Wood? They must have got rid of it. Because all I see is Tremors, Tiny Toot, Timber Terror, Crazy Coaster, Corkscrew, and Aftershock there right now. Oh. Okay. But B&M is starting to build a lot more compact dive coasters, wing coasters, things like yeah. I don't see it on that list anymore for Cheetah, so I don't know what happened to that coaster. I just looked at the list on there. Aftershock, Corkscrew, Crazy Coaster, Timber Terror, Tiny Toot, and Tremors are the only coasters over at Silverwood right now.
Gerslogger, just going to throw that out there.
Oh, Tremors. Okay. Custom Coasters International. I heard that's a solid CCI too. Gerslogger, definitely. I think Gerslogger. There's some of the manufacturers I think you possibly could see it in Indian Music. You said Gerslogger. What do you think? Chance, maybe?
Chance.
Right before they sold it. I know you guys probably aren't looking at a B&M right at this time. Maybe B&M further down the line. Maybe not part of the 5-year plan. Because obviously a B&M is a $20 million investment. Ah, okay.
And see,
Goliath's so much more smoother than Outlaw Run, though. It's weird.
but I feel like that's a part of the feel for Outlaw Run. It gives it more of the theme.
True. A little
But
more kind of like a railroad.
I felt like it ran a lot smoother at night, though. I will throw that out there. Well,
Yeah, we already been answering that. So you think obviously B&M's not going to be part of the addition. Smaller parks it's really hard for smaller parks to afford them. Obviously, Spackman had big plans, so $18 million is a huge investment. That'd have been more than all the coasters combined, plus like $3 million. B&M probably would have done it for that price back then too, but $18 million investment back then is a lot of money, even back in 2008. Oh, when you look at
it was probably his last hurrah to try to.
well, he wanted to keep the park going. His kids unfortunately wanted to vote no, so
I wanted to take the money and run.
you know, he said, I don't know. And I think the museum's ran by a couple of locals like Don Hurd and a couple other people. They need volunteers. So if you guys are interested in volunteering to the IB History Museum, definitely try to help out with that. And if you guys have any memorabilia that they could use or that you can loan, I definitely recommend that as well. Unfortunately, there was a couple people that started up with them on that ended up leaving, and then they didn't have enough people to, from what I understand. What do you? So the water park. Let's say this the water park expansion is definitely probably going to happen. B&M's not going to happen. Gerschlager, maybe possibly RMC coming in. They're building like a compact coaster,
Well,
possibly
like you said,
Intamin.
we do. They're expensive though.
Not their compact models though. They just released those. I think their compact models will be affordable because they're trying to compete with RMC and Gerschlager and Premier Rides. So they're gonna get that right in that $6 to $8 million mark. I bet.
Well,
You don't know.
we know that the next thing won't be ground up, but the thing after that, if they've got their prices low, like I would agree, or like I said, a Gerstlager would be nice, or
Gerschlager is famous for pier parks adding them, so Indiana Beach is kind of a pier park.
maybe a small flying coaster, family coaster, kind of like a small. I don't know how big Dragonfly is at Dollywood, but because we chose Silver Dollar City
Vekoma,
over Dollywood, huh?
yeah, Vekoma might be willing to build a new coaster too at a cheaper rate than you're going to find. B&M and Mac are the two most expensive manufacturers. Intamin is probably number three, but Intamin also gives discounts after you build your first one. They'll give a discount if you buy two of them. So that's why we probably see Universal Islands of Adventure adding two in a row. But I don't know. I don't know how much money that coaster costs track wise, but I do know that that coaster was $400 to $500 million. So I think Velocicoaster another 400 to 500 million. That's almost like
I
$1 billion investment on two coasters. That's
I
crazy.
I, I wish I had that kind of money.
Well, you could if you owned
I know.
Comcast.
Oh, thank you.
I'm trying to think. So we already mentioned the water park, coasters, flat rides. What about a swinging swing? What do you guys
I
think about it? S&S screaming swing?
I would love that. Have it swing over the lake.
That would be a cheaper edition. What do you think that costs? 2 million, a million, something like that. I guess it depends on how many it holds. Not
You
a
skipped
hint.
a second one.
We're just giving ideas. We're just messing with you, Ian. But yeah, the new Intamins I think are compact and they would work well for a park like Indiana Beach. And if you guys were one of the first hint parks to add one of those, you guys would probably be on the top of the list for parks visit. Yeah, especially that
Attendance.
racer model. Especially that racer model. Hint, hint. Yes. Oh, a second, I'll be right back.
Um, we definitely plan to be there the 26th and 27th. Ian, can you confirm on kind of what you guys have kind of thrown out ideas on what you're going to do for Halloween, or do we have to wait on that a little more? I mean, personally, I would definitely like to see both the scare zones and houses to come back. I know there won't be much in the area to go do, so I think that would probably boost attendance. You're
They're
muted.
annoying me right now.
Uh,
Forget it. Even though we did a review video, they're trying to hit us with a copyright infringement.
On
Coaster
what?
Force. Coaster Force. I'm done using them. Period. Because they're one of the first ones that always do that crap on people. Whatever. Not like that. I think that was that one video where we were going over Silver Dollar City stuff.
Oh, one of our live videos?
Yeah, so I have to.
Yeah, it was when we pulled up the POVs. We'll just always stick to the park POVs from now on. Easiest thing to do.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just trying to figure out. Whatever.
You are always allowed to use any of ours. As long as you just let us know and give us a shout out for letting you use it, you are always allowed to use ours.
Yeah, just use park POVs or just ask certain pages. Like, I know One Wheel Productions. If you ask him, he'll let you use it as long as he knows about it ahead of time. There will be people in the castle. So we're talking about the Halloween event then right now? Is that what the question's about?
Yeah, okay. I just wanted, since he was back on, I was just trying to see if we can get a idea of what's actually going to be going on for Hunt.
Okay. I don't know how they could issue a copyright clause on that. I'll just remove that part of the video. That's easy. I'll just re-download it, re-upload it without their videos in it. I think we only used one of their videos and the rest were Holiday Worlds anyways, weren't they? Whatever.
No, it was for Silver Dollar. It was for Silver Dollar City.
And Theme Park Review doesn't even do that to us. If we were reviewing it, they let it go. I don't know why Coaster Force is like that. I'm not going to say anything online here.
It's their videos. They have their right.
Well, true, but YouTube also says if you're reviewing it and you're using it for review purposes, that it's okay to use it. People in the castle.
I agree with you. I'm excited to have people in the castle. Even when there's not people in the castle, every time I'm at the park, I like to take 1 or 2 trips through the castle.
Yeah, there was a lady 2 years ago that it's free. It's not extra. I remember there's a lady 2 years ago. Well, I don't know this year. That might be extra. Maybe they have an extra haunted house or something. I remember 2 years ago they had that lady in the door area. You remember that? Well, she was trying to get you to go the wrong direction and laughing at you. That was pretty creative, I thought.
Well, we spent 10 minutes in that room, I felt like.
Yeah. That just seems kind of odd to me that somebody would tag something like that. Like you guys said, it does get frustrating when you're running channels. Unfortunately, we don't have millions of subscribers like Coaster Force does. So, but we were literally using it as a review. Jacob can even concur that we were using it as a review for Hollywood Nights to kind of show people kind of what the layout is.
Oh, it was for Holiday World? It wasn't for Silver Dollar City?
Nope. I think Silver Dollar City, I ended up using their own. I didn't use Coaster Forces for that. They're known for doing that unless you're Coaster Studios. Coaster Studios is about the only one that's allowed to use their videos. I think it's one of those things. Well, you're a big channel, I'm a big channel, I'll help you out. They don't help out the little ones. So that's another reason why I kind of support El Toro Ryan more than I do the other ones, because El Toro Ryan's more friendly to the community, in my opinion.
There's a lot of them that are friendly.
Yeah. Anybody have any questions? Because we're going on this, we're getting ready to conclude the show here.
Gonna go drop in on some Warzone before I have to go to work.
We're sitting at an hour and 4 minutes. We're going to talk. Do you have anything else you want to conclude? I think we kind of went over everything on the show. It's kind of the predictions, needs, wants. Ian kind of hinted at a new coaster, just not the manufacturer. Probably won't see that till 2022. We don't know what's going to happen for next year. We do have 3 openings. Like you said, is the question going to be, is it water slides? Is it going to be a flat ride? Is it going to be a coaster?
Well, hear me out. Now, what if they know they need a they know that every area needs an update. What if they do one of each?
That's true. I don't know. I just know their needs
If
and
it's not
wants.
if it's not all ground up, I could see being one of each.
I would like to see I'd like to see the changing room area redone before walking into the water park. Getting rid of that speed slide, it's a little outdated. Possibly putting
That
in
could
a
be a drop
drop
slide,
slide in place. Say what?
They could turn that into a drop slide.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, perfect area for it. Scare the crap out of people as they're flying by on the sky ride, looking at people drop on the slide. Yeah, we think Ivy Han is free.
Fire in the hole.
Yeah,
I love fire in the hole.
I did hear rumors that in 2020, everyone knows that Zero G leaving is so. Oh, let's put that up there. So if you guys are interested in what's going on next year, that is confirmed. Zero G is leaving Indiana Beach. So if you guys want to ride it, get your rides in before it leaves the park after this year.
My opinion, it's one of my favorite rides like that you could find anywhere. The one at Kentucky Kingdom is really, really slow. Sorry, Kentucky Kingdom. But
It's like Flex
the one
Freedom
that
too.
oh, dude, that thing is awful.
All right, yeah,
I'm
we'll
ready
see
to
you on the Lost
marathon Zero
Coaster
G.
for sure. Blazing Fury.
Fire in the hole.
I don't know how they would put that in the park. I did hear rumors that this is from a park
Believe it or
attendant.
not,
That was weird. That thing just switched like 3 different angles. Say what again?
we rode Fire in the Hole 8 times with no kids. We
8
couldn't get
times.
enough of it. Dude, it was walk on. You know how it is with that Trailblazer thing.
That's true.
2 times we rode with an employee. We rode in the front, but if you ever ride the ride, ride it in the back because that's the best seat because you actually could get some airtime. Small airtime, but some airtime.
Yeah, the couple splashdowns definitely leave you a lot of airtime. So he's confirmed that already. So I'm gonna put that at the bottom here. Let's talk about that real fast before we end the show. This will be the last part of our show, guys. Let's talk about Zero G, the pros, cons of that ride. I heard rumors of it. I didn't know if those rumors were true that it was leaving Indiana Beach. So the pros, it's an intense Larson looper. The cons, it was a temporary structure, which we kind of figured with
I mean, the back of it says Fireball.
Fireball. But yeah, at the beginning of the year, Eugene Staples mentioned that he didn't want temporary structures at the park. So I hinted that Zero G is probably going to be gone. This was like a long time ago. When did I do that video? Like back in March? And I was like, well, that means Zero G is probably gone now. So that's confirmed. Zero G is gone. And I could see them removing it. I heard it's like an older type of ride. Oh, look at this. Cheech. No more more Ivy Crow merchandise. What's the best coaster in the world? That's debatable. We'll say United States. United States, I would say
Time Traveler.
the Voyage
Fight
with
me
no
on it.
trims. The Voyage with no trims. Maverick. I heard the Flying Dinosaur over at Universal in Japan is supposed to be one of the best coasters in the world. Steel Vengeance, definitely not. I don't. Zero G
It
is
was
so loud. It is loud.
corn, especially in the back seat. I love safety first. I always have my belt tight, but I love the airtime in the back seat on Cornball.
Cornball with no seatbelt. Oh god.
Seat belt first. But yes, I agree with you, Ian. I've never done that before at all.
I like Steel Vengeance. It's just the operations annoy me.
And the
Back
next time next time I'm there, if I see you, we're definitely marathoning that back seat for like an hour or two.
an hour or two. Okay. Just go. Oh, we can't go during the week anymore.
Coaster challenge.
I could ride that over and over again. That one day we got 35 rides in on it, so I just had a really bad headache.
So let's set up a coaster challenge at Indiana Beach. Let's get this in the works.
every single row and seat of the Cornball Express. 24 rides minimum.
Or see how many times you can ride it without getting off.
Hurricane 73 times in a row.
We did that one night too.
Never forget. You probably rode that when it was more rough too, so
Yeah, I think we got I think it was 12, 14.
So you guys heard the news on here? Breaking news on that, I guess, if you guys liked it. All right. I've been on rougher coasters than that, though, so
Very
imagine
good.
riding the old, what was the old ride before Steel Vengeance called? Imagine riding that 73 times
American
in a
Eagle.
row. No. Before Steel Vengeance.
What?
What
I was talking about rough coasters.
Oh, I was talking about the one. It was at Cedar Point beforehand.
Mean Streak.
Oh, yeah, Mean Streak.
But that wasn't rough. I didn't think it was.
It was extremely rough. I rode it in 2007. It wasn't that bad. And then the 2014 was horrible.
Weak.
It was a din coaster, right? Let me look that up.
Dude,
Din coasters are horrible. I hate din coasters.
it was a great ride. Wonderful ride.
I think it was a din. Yep, Din Corporation. They don't, in my opinion, they don't make any good coasters. Georgia
Except Mean
Cyclone.
Streak.
Yeah, Georgia Cyclone was redone. Hercules, I think it's still Mean Streak, Predator, Cyclone, Raging Wolf, Bob's, Texas Giant, Thunder Run. Thunder Run's horrible. Timberwolf and Wolverine Wildcat. None of those are good coasters. Din Corporation, in my opinion, were the easiest ones to convert, and that's why you see more of them that turned over to RMCs. Have you ridden Thunder Run this year at Kentucky Kingdom yet?
I
It's
like it.
horrible.
Whatever, it's great.
Such a boring layout.
Yeah, well, it's
Shivering
better than
Timbers. I want to go ride that so bad.
that was on a 2-ride list this year, but thank you, COVID, for ruining everything.
How about Lost Coaster sitting backwards 20 times? There you go. That's a good ride challenge. Hopefully you still have your neck muscles intact after that. Superman at Six Flags. When it breaks and leaves you in the air, staring straight at the ground for an hour while they fix it. Good times.
At least you're not facing the sun. We got stuck on the lift hill once at
already did
Carowinds,
it.
and that thing's.
So I thought that
The
one
sun
thing
was
that
just beaming on us for 10, 15 minutes.
oh the old What was that? Like an old Arrow flying coaster. He left me. I don't know what just happened. Are you guys still with us here? Oh, there he is.
I'm
Yeah,
back.
you disappeared. You disappeared. That was weird. So I just want to say the roller coaster community is really good for the most part, but I want to say that EM, if you're controlling your social media, don't be afraid to troll like Kentucky Kingdom does. Maybe contact Jefferson down there and get some pointers and hints from him because that was hilarious what they said. Keys to the Canceled Kingdom 2021 is still one of my favorite things that Jefferson has done. None of us are above the rules
It
or
just keeps
anything
getting
like
better.
that. Oh, it's going to get better and better. I wonder what. Only hard part is the double down. Did Southpaw. I've been stuck on Superman Breakdown for 15 minutes. The only coaster I've ever been on that broke down at Six Flags Great America was a Wizard when I was like 5 years old. Mammoth. I don't think any coasters have ever broken down on me when I've been on them at Indiana Beach yet. So that's a positive, right?
Well, we sat down on Hoosier Hurricane once, and then all the lap bars broke, so we had to let maintenance come and fix that. But that was before. And
My
Great
favorite part.
America. I didn't get stuck on a ride at Great America. Kings Island, I've been stuck on Stunt Coaster. I got stuck on a coaster at Carowinds. That one was fun because we were staring at the sun.
Wizard brings back memories. Yeah, I love the Wizard. I don't know why everybody hates it. I think it's one of the best.
Build a wizard.
If Six Flags ever wants to get rid of it, Indiana Beach should save that coaster. I was stuck on Nitro, but the clamshells are so comfortable, so no big deal. I love Nitro at Six Flags Great Adventure. That's such a good
Firehawk.
So,
Firehawk and Diamondback. Been broke down on both of those.
I hated how they put you up that lift hill backwards on your back. It was so stupid.
That's how the one is at Carowinds.
I think B&M has the best flying coasters. We already have Tiger. Well, let's remove Tiger and then put Wizard in.
Put Wizard in. Yeah. Wizard's, yeah. I feel like Wizard has a different feel than Tiger, though. But I know they're practically the same thing.
Schwarzkopf's held the test of time now. Jeez. Trying to think of something else. Seen footage of people stuck at the top of Thrill Dragster. Very rare. How do you spell what? Schwarzkopf? I don't know. I'd have to look it up myself. But yeah, I guess that would conclude all the questions, guys. We appreciate you guys joining in our show. We're going to go ahead and conclude our show today. If you guys have any comments, concerns, questions, or anything like that, just ask us and we'll go ahead and hit you guys offline. If you guys are watching this on YouTube as it's being published, we'll get to your comments as soon as it's being published on Facebook. We'll answer it as you guys ask it. My daughter and I got stuck at Surf Dog at Kings Island. Thank you very much. And thanks everybody for joining in today. And if you guys have any comments, concerns, like I said, please be sure to hit that subscribe button, share our video if you guys get a chance. We'll be on here next Tuesday, hopefully. No problem. We'll be on here next Tuesday. Okay. Great distraction while you're at work.
How about Monday?
Sunday. Monday?
Can we do Monday instead of Tuesday? Yeah. Yeah, because Tuesday I won't be able to join.
That is how you spell it. It's a hard name to spell. Thank you very much. Yeah, we'll be on our Monday. Monday, we're either going to talk about Holiday World or Kings Island, since all these rumors are speculating that Kings Island has some stuff up, like markers and stuff. We've already gotten information. We've read up information that's kind of like axed all those rumors. So We'll be back here on Monday, either talking about Kings Island or Holiday World. What's going to be new for those two parks? But thanks again for joining us on the show. Do you have anything else you want to say, Jacob, or good to go?
Nope. Everybody have
All
a
right.
good week. Enjoy
Have
the
a good
nice
Labor
weather.
Day weekend, guys.